doing outside of the ring. But in that ring, Oscar fought everybody. He would have told Deontay, you'll fight Anthony Joshua. We'll tell you, you're the man.
Julian Williams beats Ishe Smith.
Yeah, controversy fight, I heard. I didn't watch it.
I don't know. It was at the Cosmo in Las Vegas. Junior middleweight contender Julian Williams won a 10-round unanimous. By the way, for those of you playing the drinking game companion set, the word unanimous is the drinking word today. So unanimous. Take a drink. Decision over former world champion Ishe Smith. The scores were 99, 91, 98, 92, 97, 93. Ishe Smith had this to say, I don't know what fight they were watching. I was fighting my ass off in there. What, bro? This isn't like they kind of got it wrong. You didn't win a round, dude.
Hey, Ishii had him hurt. I did see that, Lee. Like round 7, Ishii has him on Wobble Street, man. I don't think he drops him, but maybe he didn't win that round either.
So bullshitty.
Yeah, look at it's Ishii Smith. I'm sorry, there's nothing there. So yeah, this guy Jay Williams, I believe he only has one defeat. So Al Heyman's trying to make him a name, some sort of name under you PBC fans, because anybody outside of the PBC doesn't know a fucking thing about the PBC. But whatever cult following they got going on there, that they get their 1 million views all the time, those guys, he's trying to build up Jay Williams for them, because the last time PBC audience seen Jay Williams, he was getting knocked out by one punch. So that's all it's about. I don't expect anything from either of these guys.
Saddam Ali, moving up to fight the legendary Miguel Cotto, had this to say, it's a little scary.
Yeah, I'm going to be cautious.
What the hell? How is this a story? Fake news. Wow. It's a pleasure to be in the position on the big stage at Madison Square Garden against a legend, which I grew up watching, Ali said. It's a little scary, but I've been working hard. I'm ready to go out there and perform. I know I'm a huge underdog, but I'm ready to go out there and put on a great show. I know what I've got to look for out there, and it's amazing.
Not getting hit,
Who
Lee.
made this fight?
Not getting hit. He's all, this is what I got to do.
Oscar should be ashamed that he made this fight.
No, wait a minute now. The PBC should be ashamed that they didn't accept the Cotto fight. Hold on now. Garcia turns down Miguel Cotto so he could fight Robin. What was that dude's name? Robert Easter Jr.? What? I would have loved to see Garcia. Dude, I have Garcia beating Cotto, Lee. I have him beating Cotto.
Now I get Saddam Ali. Ooh, I'm so excited.
Who else?
I'm not going to watch the fight. No way you're talking me into watching that shit show.
I know. Hey, Lee, who else turned him down? Cotto went after two. Oh, Jesse Vargas?
Jesse Vargas.
Jesse Vargas is fighting.
Yeah, he's fighting nobody.
Yeah, some nobody. It's a flat nobody. Dude, why didn't his team or his management believe that he had the skill to outbox Miguel Cotto at his age? You are talking about, Lee, historically, when a fighter goes into a fight and he's fighting a young kid, a kid that is known in the boxing world, and he says, this is my last fight, how does that fight usually play out for the veteran?
Yeah.
Knocked out, right? Stopped. I told you guys I was going to end. This is why. I'm thinking Barrera Pacquiao. I'm thinking De La Hoya Pacquiao. Come on, people. When these guys say they got 1 foot out the door already, it ain't hard to push them out.
Frank Warren, I spoke to Al Heyman about Santa Cruz Frampton 3.
Ugh.
Belfast is a great venue for the fans. Carl Frampton makes it a long-awaited return in his upcoming fight, but all anybody wants to talk about is Frampton Santa Cruz 3. Really? Who's calling for this fight to be a third part, Andrew?
Yeah, I would say, if anything, it would be it's a good fight if they do take it to Carl Frampton's backyard. But I think there's a lot more matchups in the featherweights, correct? Featherweight division than to do a third fight with these two. I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't want to waste these guys on each other. Who was it? Marquez and Velasquez? Who is the guys that ruined their eyes? It was Rafael Marquez.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Lee. Damn it! You gotta help me.
Damn it! No, I don't.
No, whatever.
Watching you struggle is part of the fun of the show.
I'll get it. I'm not gonna try.
And finally, in news,
on my mind right now, I can't believe I can't think of his name. But you don't want to waste their career on that. You can even see Barrera Morales, man. The 3 fights that Morales gives to Barrera kind of toasted him. You know what I mean? And then Manny just wiped it up. But Morales was pretty much shot after the Barrera fight, and yes. I don't see why Santa Cruz would want to do that with this guy.
So our final couple of news stories this week are the gone but not retiring fighter division. Which fighter do you want to hear about not ready for retirement? Do you want the Mexican or the white guy?
Mexican.
Ricardo Mayorga rules out retirement, plans a February return.
Mexican, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, earlier this month, former world champion Ricardo Mayorga returned to the ring at age 44. Mayorga, who was a welterweight and super welterweight champion 10 years ago, I'll say that again, 10 years ago, traveled over to Russia, where nobody cares about your age, to beat up a Russian that I can't pronounce. Things did not go as planned, according to Mayorga, suffering a stoppage loss. The unbeaten Russian raised his record to 14-0 with 4 knockouts. Mayorga dropped to 32-10-1 with 26 knockouts. Mayorga returned in 2017 after last fighting in 2015, blah, blah, blah. According to Mayorga, he still intends to fight in February. Physically, I felt good. I trained hard for this fight, but those 2 factors prevented it. What? Oh, his hand. He suffered a hand injury and was unable to adapt to the severe cold in the region. So that's what stopped him from winning the fight. He said, I will return. I will give a show again. I am a warrior. And when I feel that I cannot, then I will definitely say enough to boxing. Woo! More Ricardo
he's been
Mayorga.
banging. Listen, Ricardo Mayorga used to give away checks to his country of Nicaragua, Lee. He one time he put electricity in his whole street that he grew up on, which is noble, right? We should give him credit for that.
Yes.
But now he's flat fucking broke, and he's literally selling his name all over the world. He does MMA too. If you wanna choke Ricardo Mayorga out, you just bring him to a cage for about $1,500. He will get in that bitch and allow you to choke him out. He's lost every single MMA bout, I think, by chokeout, Lee.
That's pretty bad jiu-jitsu.
You know he doesn't care.
And
Come
our
on.
final gone but not forgotten retirement of the week is a white guy, and it goes to Klitschko. Former unified heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko recently posted a video where the boxer left the door open to a comeback. Back in April, Klitschko returned to the ring for the first time since suffering the 12-round loss to Tyson Fury. That time he had faced Anthony Joshua in front of 90,000 at Wembley Stadium. As we all know, he lost, but he did have Joshua down in that fight. There was a rematch slated for Klitschko and Joshua. Klitschko decided to go in another direction and announce his retirement. But Klitschko, 41, recently posted a video of himself back in the ring. In the video, he walks around the ring before facing the camera to make several statements regarding his abilities and hinting at a return. It's my first boxing workout in almost half a year, and you know what? I feel I've still got it. Maybe I'll wait a couple of years and say I still got it, and return like George Foreman did in his mid-40s. Woo!
Israel Vazquez, Rafael Marquez, the 3 fights that ruined both men.
Good job.
Carl Frampton does not want to do that with Leo Santa Cruz. Lee, let me tell you, and I'm going back to this, and then we'll get back to Klitschko because I got something. Listen, let me get back to that. Featherweights. We got Santa Cruz, we got Carl Frampton, we got Gary Russell, Abner Mares, Scott Quigg, Lee Salisbury, Oscar Valdez, and Joseph Diaz. Lee, there is no reason for these guys to fight 3 times, right? Let's go through that top 10 list, and then maybe if you guys still have belts at the end, fight each other again. And if I'm not mistaken, I even think Nonito Donaire is even in the top 10 in the featherweights. There's no reason. I don't like it. I don't like 3 fights when the division's that loaded. Now on to the Klitschko. Not surprised that Vladimir is saying he already wants back in. There's money on the table. Lee, these guys don't like leaving millions. Nobody likes leaving
he's got
millions.
kids now. I mean, he's got a super hot wife, so he's got to keep training anyway to keep the super hot wife, movie star wife.
You know what it is, man. These are millions of dollars. That Anthony Joshua is only getting bigger. If he sits out, say, another fight or two.
Oh, hey, look. It's a $100 million fight.
Yes.
Yeah, he clears out the division and he's undisputed. It's a $100 million fight.
And then check this one. His brother even threw it out there that he was thinking about coming back. Vitaly. So, I mean, Anthony Joshua, he is a cash cow. Both of these guys want some of it. People, that's boxing. That's real. These are real fighters. Prize fighters. They don't leave money on the table. I'm sorry. All you other J-Cats nowadays, a lot of you guys do. A lot of you guys want that little, enough to say that you're better than the next man, but you ain't really going for the big pot. You really aren't. You like to put the illusion out there that you are. Oh, you'll call them out on social media. But when fucking it comes to a pen to paper, hell no, you're nowhere to be seen.
I mean, I'll take step-aside money, but I'm a sellout.
Triple G. Triple G. Step aside.
Step-aside money.
That boy stepped aside like 3 times in his career.
I was reading a post by, I'm not going to say the sources that I read it off of, but one of the fighters was, hey, how come I didn't get paid my step-aside money? And he was kind of tweeting it out loud to his promoter, and he goes, hey, cowboy, that only really happens to guys like Triple G.
No.
So
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how much credit you can give a guy for being ducked when he took 3 checks not to fight the champ. Right, mm-hmm. Lee? It's like how you can't have your cake and eat it too, Lee. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That's right. Don't forget, tickets are still available for Kovalev versus Shamalama Ding Dong for the WBO Light Heavyweight Championship, along with Sullivan Barrera.
I wish what if Max liked us, deep down inside, and then he accidentally said Shabalaba Ding Dong on Saturday?
I would get a clip of that and put that at the beginning of the show, and it would be forever in the intro to the show. Sullivan Barrera is taking on Felix Valera on the undercard.
Sullivan Barrera deserves his shot. I'm looking for a big performance out of this guy. Let's get him and Kovalev in the ring finally.
I'm calling for an upset by Shabranskyy.
You might be right. Hey, I wonder what the odds are.
I think it's Shabranskyy, to say it correctly.
There you go. We got to at least try one time. Sometimes I don't like that.
Well, we could call him by his first name, Saliva, or Slava, whatever you want to call him. I like Saliva Shabalaba Ding Dong. I wonder if people think that I butcher these. I butcher them on purpose because it's funny to me.
Oh, I swear. Hey, whenever it's the World Cup or the Olympics, all these guys butcher these names. None of these radio hosts there's only a handful that can turn their tongues that way, Lee. Not on a drop.
I like butchering the names all the way. Krusher with a K is back this Saturday night. Don't forget, HBO. There are tickets available. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you're into. If you want to go spend money and go into the city in New York because you won the lottery, or
I hope he got paid. I hope Kovalev made a decent check on it. It was just a terrible story
they got to just put a belt on him. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. But Lee, he didn't make a dime for War II? I mean, that is pathetic, man. Did you remember when he posted his salary was 0?
Yep.
That was just a crime. I don't know what happened there, but that was an absolute crime what happened to Kovalev in those rematch negotiations with Floyd. He's still at main events, though, so maybe they got him on a back-end deal. Maybe he got cash, huh? Yeah, I never think of all the outs. Maybe it was a cash fight.
True. So I'm wondering, is it a true mark of how old I am that I threw my hip out today?
Ooh, yeah, it's getting there. That's a sign. Most young studs don't just throw out hips, Lee.
But Andrew, I still have 8 more years to get my black belt.
Oh, shit.
Can you imagine how much of a dick I'm going to be with a black belt?
Today is just a setback then.
Today I feel very old. Plus, it's almost time to start cutting weight for the Pan Ams again. I'm so depressed. We were actually doing the math. I was challenged to a boxing